4th week absolutely free, you will save $75 and receive a full month's supply for less than $8 a day. This offer ends on June 22nd, so act now and buy 3 to get the 4th one free from eFoods Direct. Call 800-409-5633 or go online to efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Your order deadline is June 22nd to buy 3 and get 1 free. Call 800-409-5633 or visit efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Max Keiser joins us from Athens, Greece. The parliament is under siege by the population. George Anoulis, former member of parliament, a prominent lawyer, met with Keiser and hundreds of other top lawyers moving forward with lawsuits against Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan. Papandreou, first he said he would resign this morning. Now he's saying reshuffle the cabinet. Obviously, he's been trying to hold on to power. Where do you go from here? I mean, he obviously, it's public that they made these inside deals. Why doesn't the courts just go ahead and indict him? Why isn't he thrown into chains right now, Mr. Anoulis?
I think the people start to understand, because the game is very, very, very difficult to understand what happens. I am a specialized lawyer. And also I am internationalist. I was, my job it was in Brussels, in the European Council. And after I was now for 10 years. And I am a specialized lawyer for economic affairs. So
you specialize in this area?
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Okay,
so
expanding on that then, where is it going?
It's not familiarized for the people, for the common people, this story. I want to say something very important. You know, we pay for sign the deal with the IMF and cost this deal €1,300,000,000 only to write the deal. It's impossible, unbelievable, but it's cost so many euros. And this euro is equal to 10-year cuts of the salary of the people.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Alex, if I can jump in for a second.
Go ahead, Max.
This is the methodology that the banks use, and this is how they pay themselves. What Mr. Anoulis is saying is they paid themselves over $1 billion fee to create the memorandum with the IMF. The memorandum gives the IMF control over the Greek assets above and beyond the Constitution. It's completely outside of the Constitution, so the government violated the Constitution. So the IMF, using the fake debt that they created, that they gave the banks in this country, are now saying through this IMF that they charge $1.2 billion fee to just sign the contract that gives them rights above and beyond the Constitution. Now, you asked earlier why there's not, chains, handcuffs being put on these men right now, and there's something going on here. These politicians is extremely what you could describe as a crony capitalism situation. There's extremely cozy relationships. So it's very important that the people doing what they're doing on the street, the politicians need to make the calculation that the will of the people is so great that their political career would benefit by fulfilling the law and by putting these people in jail. And that's why these demonstrations are so important. That's why the people on the street doing what they're doing is so important. They're pushing the politicians to obey the law and to go forward. And this is what Mr. Anoulis is on the front line on the legal side, and he's working part and parcel with the people on the street. Now, we've got Dr. Cross has just arrived, Alex. I don't know how much time you have left there.
If Dr. Tobras has arrived, we'll come back. You know, these are short segments at the end and start of the hour. We'll come back and have you introduce him. Then I've got a few final questions because this affects all of us here in the United States. But you'll need to get Dr. Tobras a little bit closer to the mic because with George Nulis, he was a little bit, his audio wasn't being picked up sometimes. We may have to reconnect with Skype, but we're going to go to break, come back, finish up with our guests, and then I've got all the other news. There is so much of it. Insider leaks reveal full Bilderberg agenda on war on alternative media. Kurt Nimmo. Washington Post reports on Bohemian Grove. We've got a bunch of other really important news dealing with the ATF. It's all coming up. Stay with us.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on Earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cannons, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
When you're out on the road, the last place you want to be is on the road. But if the unfortunate happens, you'll be glad you were wearing diamond gussets.
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you'll love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
We turn jeans inside out. Diamond gusset jeans, made in the USA with unparalleled quality. Our Defender motorcycle jeans combine gusset comfort with Kevlar protection, so you can ride all day with confidence. Order yours at gusset.com. Diamond gusset jeans got it, others don't.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
We now take you back live to the front lines globally of the fight against the mega central banks, the 8 banking families. It's on record, mainstream news in the U.S., that Goldman Sachs predominantly, but also J.P. Morgan and others, went in 3 years ago and basically put their people into the government, the finance minister, the prime minister, George Papandreou, and that they engineered the implosion of the economy, tying it into the derivative debts, most of which is not owed by the population. And Iceland said no, and they finally got the documents and learned that over 90% was not owed by the government, but was owed by the very central banks, claiming that they owed them the money. They create fraudulent systems and then tie the national pension funds to it. That's an oversimplification, But that's part of the scam. Now, you're saying, why do you care about this? Because the euro will go under if they're unable to secure and gobble up Greece. Remember, Ireland just 2 years ago was the wealthiest and fastest growing per capita, fastest growing, not wealthiest, Switzerland's that, country in Europe. They're brought into the EU, the receivership contract. Suddenly they're bankrupted. They're told that they've got to raise their taxes, cut their benefits. Then it was confirmed in BBC that most of the money's not owed by them. It's private banks taking over through economic conquest and economic terrorism. Max Keiser joins us from Athens, above the parliament, 6 stories up. You can hear the crowds chanting from time to time, even through the sliding glass doors. It's that powerful. Street battles, attacks, provocateur police that Max has confirmed. They caught him a few years ago in Greece, attacking peaceful people and blaming it on the demonstrators and attacking middle-class neighborhoods. So they are in the middle of bedlam. We're talking to a former member of parliament there, George Nulis. Now the gentleman has gotten there, Dr. Tobras, who is an economist, and he's there with Max Keiser. Max, this is historical what's happening. The New World Order falls if they can't gobble up Greece. Is that an overstatement, or is that accurate?
No, I think that's accurate, Alec. That Greece is really ground zero. They are the pin that needs to stay up. We don't want Greece to go down. Dr. Tobras, journalist, economist, he's working with Mr. Nulis, getting the word out to the public. And so I want to bring Dr. Tobras to this, and he can talk about what they've discovered in terms of the role that Goldman Sachs and others have played in the treason, in the financial scandal. So let me turn it over to Dr. Tobras.
Good. Make sure he speaks up like you're doing. Go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon. How are you?
Good, sir. Thank you for having us. So break down the lawsuit being filed and the evidence you have.
Yes. This lawsuit started on April 2010. We started that together with Greek lawyer, Mr. Nulis, with whom we are partners in this case. And we started that because we discovered that the debt of the Greek government today, on its 70%, it is an accumulation of years of interests, because we paid out this capital for so many times, and for the next of our lives, we have to pay capitalizations of interest and nothing more. This debt, what this government has, it was accumulated by the years, by swaps on swaps and against swaps. This is a debt of swaps and nothing else.
So it's derivative-based. It's derivative-based.
It is also derivative-based. But in any case, the debt of the Greek government, as the major parts of the debts here in the southern Europe, let's say in the peaks, okay, it is a scam, all the debt itself, because it was used for years for the governments to help the issuers of this debt to issue money, you understand? Because debt today, it is a necessary instrument for the central banks to issue money. You know very well that because in the recent years, after the 50s, let's say, the gold system is not existing anymore. That means there is not any gold collateral on the money issue. The governments, they discover the government debt in order to central banks to issue the money. This is a scam. This is a very big scam that all the countries are involved. And what happened here in Greece with the crisis after 2010, when the problem started, it is exactly the same game what happened in the United States with the case of Lehman Brothers and AIG, the same thing. CDS on CDOs. Here we have CDS on government bonds. The game is the same. The people who make the game are the same. The fraud is the same. The scam is the same. So all of us will have to revolt because we don't have to pay this debt.
Let me cut in here, Alex, for a second. Just a couple of points. Number one, the comparison to Lehman Brothers and AIG is a good comparison. In other words, the counterparty risk, as they describe it, the billions and billions of debts that are owned
the company sold the fraud to the government, so it's their fraud. We don't owe it because they induced us into fraud. They go to prison. The debts are written off. But if they induce us to pay off the fraud, they become our owners through fraud.
Essentially, it's a daisy chain of fraud. And if one goes down, in this case Greece, you have another financial collapse like you had in 2008. Now, to get back to what Dr. Tabras was saying originally in terms of the debt and the layering of the debt, in other words, what they have discovered through their discovery process is that the same multi-billion-dollar tranche of debt with interest attached to it was resold over and